Hi everyone, and welcome to Heart to Hearts with Rach. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. In today's Heart to Heart, I wanted to talk about the subject of purpose. I feel like that term is thrown around so much, right? How do we define our purpose? How do we find our purpose? What is our purpose? I've been thinking about that topic a lot in the last few days as we've entered into a new year. And I'm someone that is very self-reflective. I'm someone that kind of likes to analyze things and, as my therapist says, intellectualize things and find meaning. I'm curious, and all those things are really wonderful. I think, though, that in the last week or so, I've really been marinating a lot on this idea and this question for myself of what is my purpose? Now, I feel like I know what it is, but I was hit with a challenge by my acupuncturist a few days ago, and I'm gonna wait till the end of this vlog to share that with you. But for right now, what I've been thinking a lot about is what my purpose is, right? And how to fulfill that purpose within a timeline in a way that makes the most sense, right? Working smarter, not harder, all these things that we're taught to do and to believe, right? In living out our purpose. But the first thing that I thought about was just what does God say? Very simple, basic question. I find that for myself and perhaps a lot of other women especially, we tend to go to other people for validation, acceptance, and approval. And something I've been challenging myself to do over the last week or so is going to God first. I have the gift of being able to talk to Him and He talks back to me. I realize that's not normal for a lot of people, and I'd love to share with you more on that if you want to hear from God. If you're someone that perhaps defines yourself as being spiritual, not religious, or however you find yourself in your faith, I believe that God is always speaking to us, and if we just attune our ear just a little bit, we can hear from Him. And so that's my offering to you, is to sit down in quiet and journaling, maybe in meditation, and ask God, what is your purpose for this year, for this moment, for this life? The second thing that I thought a lot about in the last week as well is, does my purpose, does what I want to accomplish, my dreams and my desires, does it fit into this tightly, beautifully wrapped box that I can present to people around me, that I can present to my friends and my family, and so that they understand me, so that they can accept and approve of me, right? It goes back to this acceptance and approval of other people. And I keep being reminded of this fact. More often than not in my life, and even in my husband's life, it goes to show that more often than not, if what path we're heading down, if it doesn't fit into that tightly, beautifully, perfectly wrapped gift, then it is actually where we have the most peace. It is actually the path, the road we're supposed to walk down. And so I wonder for you, if you're thinking about your life right now as we start the new year, if you're thinking about what you want to accomplish in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, look at the history of your life, and does your purpose, your dreams, your desires, does it fit into that nicely wrapped box? And if it doesn't, I wonder, is that in fact your purpose, or how you would define your purpose? I myself even struggle at times of trying to morph into this box. Oftentimes, for me at least, whenever I'm moving in the rhythms of grace and in love and in prosperity is when it looks so much different than what I plan and what can fit into this perfectly wrapped box for other people to see and observe and to love. My third offering for you, and this is what I wanted to get to, the challenge my acupuncturist gave me, which I believe is to be true, is like, what if this whole idea of purpose and this big idea, these big talks that people have around how to define your purpose and what your purpose is, what if your purpose, what if our purpose is actually wrapped up in the smallest things, the smallest mundane everyday things, like loving your partner well, loving your children well, loving your family well and your friends well? What if it's wrapped up in finding things that make you laugh, doing things that make you happy, smiling at the person that's checking you out at the grocery store? What if purpose, this whole big thing this elaborate thing that we think we're meant to do on this earth, is actually in the small and mundane everyday things? And every time I come back to simplicity, every time I come back to like, am I loving myself well? Am I healing? Am I moving and dancing and modeling in a way that is sustainable and healthy for me and my body and my family, right? And that's the real question, isn't it? That's where the real wrestle, the curiosity and the invitation is, in the mundane. And I think that is the happiness and the peace and the joy that we're all longing for every single day, is actually living purposeful lives. Actually looks like meditating. It looks like moving your body. It looks like loving yourself and God with all of your heart. These are just some thoughts that I have. These heart-to-hearts are exactly that, things that I'm kind of wrestling with or thinking about or having conversations with my own self about. And I hope that this offering and these ideas are helpful for you. If you are someone that thinks about your purpose often, or maybe because of the new year, you've started to become flooded with these thoughts and ideas and questions, and I hope so much that you find some sort of resolve and sense of belonging in this video, that you're not alone, that I'm here with you, and that we got this. Like, come back to the simplicity, come back to the simple things, come back to the mundane everyday things that just make for a beautiful and flourishing life. Thank you so much for joining me for this heart-to-heart, and I hope that you decide to share this with someone that you know might need it in their life. And feel free to check out my guided meditations. There will actually be a guided meditation that coincides with this, and that guided meditation is actually positive affirmations. I did a positive affirmation meditation yesterday, and it was just so empowering. Like, I feel like there's something in this discovery of purpose mixed in with these truths, these mantras, these daily affirmations that kind of guide and lead us into living that beautiful and abundant life that we so desire. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this heart-to-heart. I hope to see you back here again very soon. Much love.